Nature is still featured in postmodernism. It's been featured in every literary period in some way, shape, or form. But in postmodernism, it takes on a more symbolic role rather than in Romanticism, where it set most of the setting and it was used to symbolize the idea. This is more, it symbolizes many ideas, but it also is used for imagery, such as in When the Day Met the Night. Summer is used to create a mood of like happiness and life and love and stuff like that. But nature images like clouds in the song Do You Know What I'm Seeing, those end up being used as symbols for the government. It's very oppressive and dark and bad. So nature can be used to symbolize a variety of things, not like in Romanticism where it was just nice stuff. The aspect and view of postmodernism towards human nature is that humans are inherently flawed. You see this a lot in Pretty Odd. For example, in the song From a Mountain in the Middle of Cabins, there's this girl that the speaker talks about who totally destroys everything that he did for her. Like, as he put it, spark your heels up against the picket fence I built. She doesn't really care at all. That's a flaw, you know? And also in the song Folkin' Around, the speaker shows absolutely no sympathy for the girl that he breaks up with, as it says in the line, I'm putting out the lantern, find your own way back home. So, humans are inherently flawed. As for the government, postmodernism addresses it with fear, as I've said many times before. In the song, Do You Know What I'm Seeing? The clouds represent government, and the birds represent people who are afraid of the government and who are being oppressed by it, even though they know that they don't necessarily know, but the speaker knows that they could stand up if they wanted to. Also, the American dream in postmodernism, it's basically to rise above all this fear and oppression and assimilation to be unique and independent individuals. In Pas de Cheval, it talks about the in-between people who are not quite to that point yet, but they're getting there, and the speaker encourages them to go all the way and become these unassimilated, independent people with their own thoughts and their own minds who aren't held back by fear or anything. And that's the American dream for postmodernism. The hero of postmodernism, according to Pretty Odd, is someone who is flawed, just like humans are supposed to be. For example, the bitter speaker in Folkin' Around that I mentioned, with the line, I'm putting out the lantern, find your own way back home. He's still a hero even though he's flawed, and you'll see why in a second. The hero is also enlightened as to society. They are aware that society is skin deep. The speaker in I Have Friends in Holy Spaces says, you remind me of a few of my famous friends, but that all depends on what you qualify as friends. So he realizes that not everyone is your friend because they say so. That shows that he is enlightened, I guess. Also, the hero of postmodernism stands up to oppression and assimilation, just like the speaker in Once Again, Do You Know What I'm Seeing? When he says in the chorus, I know it's sad that I never gave a damn about the weather, but it never gave a damn about me. And in that case, the weather is being the government, the oppressive government, and he's saying that he doesn't care about it, and he is independent from it. And that's the hero of postmodernism, according to Pretty Odd. My second postmodernism work that I analyzed was an album by the band The Hush Sound called Like Vines. It's also got a lot of properties of postmodernism within it. For example, it uses a lot of figurative language, and by a lot, I mean a lot. And this figurative language is used to express ideas better so that the audience can understand them, and it is also used to bring emphasis to certain actions that characters do inside the songs. For example, in the song Sweet Tangerine, the line, quick as the cold wind, describes the way the speaker enters the room of his love. It helps the audience to understand how creepy this person is, really, because of the chilling sense, because it says wind, which isn't sounding as pleasant as a breeze would, and cold, which is also not very pleasant. There's also songs like Wine Red, where the sea is described as wine red, which symbolizes that it's full of blood because they killed beauty within the song. There are songs like Don't Wake Me Up, where the singer compares memories to embers that keep her warm, and it helps to define the feeling that these memories that she's thinking of are giving her, that they are keeping her warm, but they're also dying very slowly. And there's also symbolism in The Lion's Roar, which gives the song a whole different meaning when the symbols are added into the mix. Like Vines, like other postmodernist works, also tends to have multiple meanings to the songs within it. For example, the song The Lion's Roar is a song where there's this circus going on while this guy is looking for this girl he loves. And depending on the symbolism used, the circus performers could represent the government, the circus itself could represent society, or it could just be taken literally as a story. Also, in A Dark Congregation, there is a line that could be interpreted many ways. It's, "We will not let time erase us," which during the song the speaker is talking about this love of hers that has died. And the different ways that you interpret the us that she says could mean different things. If she says us meaning her and her lover, then she could be talking about, I won't let our memory die away, I won't forget you. Or if she's talking to the audience, she could mean, we will never be forgotten, we will stand up and be heard. Not sure what about, but you get the point. Also, it has a few different multiple worlds, which is another aspect of postmodernism. For example, Wine Red, the audience assumes it takes place in the Garden of Eden just because of the story that is told, which the Garden of Eden ends up being a whole different world because it is supposed to be perfection. And then Don't Wake Me Up and We Intertwined they both feature the world of dreams, which is obviously a separate world.